Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 Showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Mikey, and as always, riding with me, shotgun, my boy Tommy. What's going on, brother?
What is going on, Mr. Mikey? Happy Friday, and I know you are happy that the weekend is here.
I am.
Because you need a little R&R. You need a lot of R&R.
Yeah.
But hey, today is Friday. You should be happy with that, brother.
I am very happy with that, brother. It was a long week, you know, and it didn't help that my Bills crapped the bed Monday night, and it made, you know, like, and I was telling you this before we jumped on, my fantasy team, Josh Allen actually lost me my fantasy league because of the interception.
Of course.
And the fumbles, the turnovers.
Fumble.
Just like, right. It was so bad. So bad. Good thing we get to wash that taste out of our mouth this week against the Raiders.
Golly, man. I mean, I hate when it's the worst because I work at a sports bar and everyone knows I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Everyone knows I do the Bills podcast. And, man, they give me so much shit, bro. Everyone gives me shit, you know, and it is what it is, man. I said, hey, it's week one, man. And, you know, they can't really argue with that. You know, they can't say, well, you know, you have a long off season. Well, we don't. We still got 16 more games to go. So
we will, and we will touch on this. Dwight.
Yes,
it's one of our opening segments. So let's just jump right into it. Maddie Glab, she stepped in it. Got caught on a hot mic. Came out and apologized. It sounded like there was a conversation, and the voice sounded like Catalana was talking to her from Buffalo Plus. And she stepped in it. Bad. And she
did.
Like it's a very split topic within the Mafia. Here's the thing. I don't care one way or another about Maddie Glab. You know, she's a reporter. Yeah. Great. It is what it is.
Right.
My issue is Diggs had a problem with it. If it wasn't Stefan, I don't know if it would have been as big of a deal. But because it was actually Diggs, it became a story.
So here's how I see it. And I know we talked a little bit, but by the way, guys, Mikey is like, this dude busts his ass at work, and it's terrible. And I feel for the guy. So let's do this right now for Mikey, because Mikey's here and Mikey works a lot. So I don't really get to talk to Mikey much during the week. And long story short, when I heard the news and I broke it to you on Tuesday, I think it was, I'm like, bro, first thing I said was, boy, this is not good. Even though I kind of felt like she was joking a little bit, it still came off kind of bad.
Yeah.
Then she came out the same night with an apology, but it was kind of like, hey, I'm sorry, but he knows I'm playing around. Then this came out the following day. Sorry, not that. This comes out the following day. And Diggs tweeted this, by the way, after Mikey, the apology. So clearly he read her apology, didn't give a shit about it. The audio shared was very hurtful and was insulting to my character and to how I was raised. I've always treated people how I want to be treated. I greet everyone with smiles and respect, from the people in our cafe to the people that keep our building clean. The media or fans may confuse my competitiveness that they witness on the field as to who I am in person. But off the field, I never treat anyone how she described, and I have never said anything remotely close to what she said. So that being said, here's how I take it. Bills have a problem with her, and this is why. One, the offseason with Diggs, and this is how I see it. The offseason with Diggs didn't help, right? You got that. Then you got week 1 loss, not good. Then you got, and which we're going to touch base with, on Tuesday morning, the accusations of Terry Pagula, okay, which we'll dial on in a minute. Then the very following day, I think it was Wednesday, this comes out, Mikey, just adds more fuel to the fire of already not a good offseason or beginning week of the regular season for the Buffalo Bills, right? It's just not good. And for me, Maddie Glab, here's the problem. Other players in that locker room now are going, damn, how do I trust this lady now? She's a team reporter. If this was a regular reporter, Mikey, I honestly, it wouldn't mean shit. It really wouldn't. Diggs just wouldn't do any interviews with her, right? But because this is a team reporter who does all the quirky videos with the players, and she has to be cool with all of them and, basically do all the fun videos and keep it clean. And, she's there for the team. She's a higher team employee. She's never going to do the hard questions or put any of the players under the bus. Now the other players in that locker room are going, whew. If she says that about him, why she talking about me that way? Is she talking to Mike Kennel and saying, I say fuck you to your face? You know what I mean? So not a good look. And then, like I said, when Diggs comes out and says, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I've never said that to any. He could have, if he would have came out, Mikey, like I told you before we came on and said, hey, she's cool. I'm cool with it. We joke around all the time. Like, that's not, guys, hey, lay off her. Like, that's not a big deal. This shit would have been washed over, but he didn't say that. And I think I don't know what the Pagulas are going to do with this, because that's tough now. What do you do? You know what I'm saying, Mike? I don't know how that relationship now can go forward, because it's not just Diggs. It's the whole roster, bro. She deals with everybody. So you're telling me that the rest of the roster is like, oh, Diggs, chill out, bro. Like, I'm sure, one, they got his back. Like, they probably feel like, hey, that was fucked up. And two, like I said, am I going to trust this lady now talking to me? Do I got to worry about her now? You know what I mean? He's talking shit about me. Like, so I don't know, man. I think she fucked up. I know she's probably doing it jokingly, but I think she fucked up, bro. And I feel bad for her, Mikey, because moving forward, if she is fired, she's going to have a tough time getting a team job again, because they're going to look at that and go, ooh, I don't know. Right now, getting a reporting job, different, but a team reporter, that's tough. You know what I mean? If she gets fired, I'm just throwing that out there. What do you think? You think she gets suspended, fired? I can't hear you, bud. You're on mute or something.
I don't know why it's on mute. That's odd.
No,
that's odd. It just like went on mute by itself. I don't know why. I don't know why exactly. I don't know if we'll ever find out if she was suspended or not. I don't think they'll fire her. I think it's going to come down to what Diggs wants and how comfortable is he with her. You know what I mean? I think Diggs said what he said. Things will probably happen inside the building, and that will never get out with what happened with her.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't see her Sunday, because she does the pregame and postgame with Tasker.
If it's Chris Brown, yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris Brown. Yeah, if it's right, if Chris Brown's replacing her on Sunday, then she's either suspended or fired. Now, I've heard nothing, by the way, like no news besides after the Diggs thing, but they probably, I'm going to tell you right now too, ownership probably saw or very aware that Diggs tweeted out that the following day. And it's funny because Diggs, like, I think a week ago was like, I'm not even on social media anymore. Like, I'm not being on there. I don't want to go on there.
I think someone told him.
Somebody told him, yeah, because all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like, now he's on just to say that. And of course, it brings up once again, more fuel to the fire. And though this is not that big of a deal, it does bring attention that's not good attention to the Buffalo Bills and more fuel to the fire. Now you got the racist thing on Terry Pagula. Now you got this. Now you got Diggs. Now that's how they treat Diggs here now. Now we got to hear that. Like, you know, it didn't help is what I'm trying to say. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. And by the way, guys, I have to say, and I'm not sure how y'all feel in the chat, but I got to tell you, Mikey, it's very divided with this conversation about Glab and Diggs. Like, a lot of people are like, hey, man, I'm glad she stuck up. But I will say this, guys, for everyone in the chat listening, I know, and Mikey knows, a few reporters that actually deal with the players, okay? Like, firsthand, I talk to them. And I've never, not once, have they told me that Diggs is an asshole to them, that he mistreats them. If anything, that they've said all the players they've dealt with have been really good people to deal with. Never any issues with any player. So, yeah, that's why I think it was a joke, Mikey, but it just came off so bad.
Well, you know what I mean? Caught on a hot mic. It was a joke between colleagues that got caught on a hot mic.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know.
And it came off super bad. That's all. It just came off really bad.
So
we'll see.
You know, it'll
you know what? You know how I think that could be corrected, maybe. Honestly, and like you said with the Diggs thing, they'll probably have to. Maybe they'll have a talk with her and Diggs and just kind of like, hey, I apologize. Like, maybe it's gonna have to be a one-on-one. I meant no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It will.
But we'll never know about it.
No, we never. We never will. You're absolutely, unless she's fired, you will.
Yeah, that's the only way we'll know is if she's fired or if she's suspended. But I was thinking about it. It can't be Chris Brown doing it because Chris Brown does the game day stuff, so he can't be in two places at once. So if somebody else is stepping in, then that might, you know.
And by the way, they suspended Chris Brown once for fucking up.
Yeah,
for giving out.
For giving out, formations and
where
people were playing.
Total accident.
Yeah,
but they didn't give a shit. Like,
they suspended him for a week. They suspended him for like a week,
and it was that. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Yep.
Don't be shocked if they suspend her.
Yep. So we'll move on from there. I mean, good, I hope.
Am I missing anything in the chat? By the way, I'm sorry.
No. It's just, she'll be reprimanded. Right. Go ahead and can her. There's little things like that. There's a bunch of talk about Josh and we'll get to Josh.
We will. Yeah.
Freaking this team can't even have cheerleaders.
We used to have cheerleaders, remember?
I know, and then Ralph Wilson screwed him over, and there was a lawsuit. So the second part of that, and you briefly touched on it in your response, Buzz, Crowder's allegation against Pagula and Jones. I won't say a whole lot about it because it's very much he said right now.
Right.
I have a hard time believing it, only from the fact of Jessica Pagula, his daughter, was dating a guy on the team who was black.
Right, the tight end. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I forget his name. Was it Kumaro? Was that no, not Kumaro. Jason something, wasn't it? I could swear.
It was Kroom.
Kroom. I'm sorry. You're right. I was so close. Kumaro.
Yeah.
Jason Kroom, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, could he have said something along those lines? It wasn't exactly that, yes. But I have a hard time believing that Terry Pagula is a racist guy. He's married. He's married to she's some kind of Asian, I believe.
Right.
She has some kind of ethnicity. So
that and we're forgetting the whole tragedy of 2022 in the off season. And who was first to be out there talking, helping out with everything was the Pagula. So once again,
Korean. Thank you.
Yeah. Once again, though, I and Mikey.
Yeah, we don't know. We weren't there.
Hey, you never know. But once again, you got to show proof more than he said. So, and who knows if there is? Okay, I'm sure it will be presented. If it's not, then it means absolutely nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in that lawsuit. I mean, he also waited a long time after getting fired to bring this lawsuit and say anything.
Right. Which generally happens, right, in lawsuits.
It seems very odd. So, and then my final topic is Lou Collins was released. He's recovering from a torn ACL. All-pro right tackle. Was released by the Bengals as a free agent.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, would you bring him in?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat. Now, obviously, I would need him to passive physical, obviously, right? You can't, they want to be able to play anyway, but I definitely would need to make sure that he's ready to go.
Yep.
First and foremost, because it's a waste if he's not ready to go. It's a total waste, right? You don't want to stash him on your team and hopefully he's ready to go. You're just wasting your money at that point. If he's ready to go though, even if it's a week or two, I can for him to kind of just get into the motion thing. I would still do it, but I would definitely need him pass physical. But yeah, at this point, man, I told you I was, I believe still in Spencer Brown, but having a guy like that, yeah, you sit Spencer Brown down in a heartbeat and you play that guy and you let Spencer Brown hopefully learn from him, maybe even, sit back and understand how that position's played. And yeah, I would be all for it, depending on the money as well, though. I have no idea what he's going to ask for. What would it be a 1 year deal? Does he want a long-term kind of contract or a 2-year deal? You know what I mean? Or is it just a one and done, season for him here? Like, I guess it just depends on the overall money, what he's asking, because there is a few teams that is interested. It's not just us. So, money does talk to these players as well. So.
We know it talks. That's what talks the most is money. Let's be honest.
That's right.
We've heard everyone say, "Oh, I want to win." You only want to win if you get paid. You get paid money.
That's right. That's right.
Stop doubling down on a mistake.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Are you talking about Collins or just let Spencer Brown be the backup? Brown is an interesting topic. He had some good reps. He had some bad reps last week. He wasn't completely dominated. That turf, if you look at both sides, like there was no like actual.
Holy crap! It's so bad. Bro.
Yeah, it was like they had no traction.
No give. Yeah. Real quick, guys. Red, White, and Bills. My buddy Sean did a really cool little film video on that game. Go check it out. Really good. So support him. He's a good dude. Anyways, I agree. Listen, that field is fucking awful. They talked about it on Monday morning, actually. I forget who it was, but he was saying, man, every player from both teams were saying it was like playing on a wooden floor that was wet. There was no track. Like, you had nothing. And players were sliding all around. And you saw, if you go back and watch that Bills game, a lot of linemen were literally, it looked like they were on skates, just sliding backwards. And that field's always been a mess. By the way, they changed that field this season because the NFL made them because there were so many complaints, and it's worse. It's freaking worse. So I don't know what to tell you, but I think the NFL in time will be all grass.
Triggs, it's just MetLife turf. What do you expect?
It's garbage. Yeah, it's shit. Like, listen, we're on turf, and it's not like that. I'm not saying, I can't wait to be on grass for our players because players just tend to like grass. And listen, I'll be honest, man, give the fucking players what they want. Stop with this bullshitting around. If the players want play on grass, it's $1 billion business. Get the goddamn grass in there. Stop. The owners have to stop that greedy shit. And listen, at the end of the day, it's about money, Mikey. You know that. I know that. Turf is cheaper. Turf, when you hold events, you don't have to worry about the grass. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's for. Mm-hmm. But, dude, you got to protect your players as well. Spend the extra bucks. Get that grass that you roll in and you can roll back out. They do it for soccer. By the way, soccer teams, when they come here, they don't play on turf. It's grass. They have them roll
it depends on where it's at, though, because some of those soccer ones were really bad, too. And they canceled a game because how shoddy they did it.
Yeah. Well, that you got to do it right, though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Do it. I think every grass field, in my opinion, if they do it that way in the future, should be one company. You make sure it's right. It's the same shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, every team has to go through that, company, whoever does the grass rollout thing. This way, it's good on everybody. Nobody has the advantage. Shitty grass over there, great grass here. No, it should be all the same, rolled out. Players are cool. They like it. They feel better. Then there's no more complaints. Then players can't say, the fucking grass sucks.
Maybe that came out turf. I want to hit on this one. Trixon says MetLife in Arizona have the worst turf. Actually, Washington has the worst.
Yeah, Washington has the worst everything.
Yeah, like their sewer pipes break on their fans.
right.
So you know,
and their the side things, the railings,
collapse, right?
Oh, good Lord.
So, all right, that was interesting. So let's talk a little bit about Josh Allen's Monday night game.
Cool.
Before we move on to this next week.
Yeah.
I agree with Triggs in here. He put something up top. Let me try to find it real quick. He's like, the things people have been saying about Allen this week have been crazy. Yeah, he played like crap Monday, but you know, I have been dumbfounded by some of the analysts and the crap that they've been saying. Not just the analysts, like the national analysts, some of the beat writers for the Bills. You know, it's insane. Like, okay, did he have a bad game? Yes, he had a bad game. Should he be having these bad games when he's year 6 in the league and making some of the throws he makes? No. But you know what? This is a Josh Allen experience because he makes some of those same throws and he hits on them and everyone's excited and says, that's what Josh Allen does. But when it goes wrong against a really good defense, and say what you want, it was a really good defense, you know, you get a game like this. I think where it went from a bad game to just awful is the fumble at the end. You know, he throws the pick, which if you watch Kurt Warner on his, he broke it down. That pick actually wasn't even on Josh. It was just a shoddy route by Davis.
Right.
You know, Gabe didn't get the right depth. He rounded it off, so the safety jumped it because he knew exactly what he was doing.
Right.
You know, like there were so many other things, and everyone's like, "Well, Diggs was open wide over the middle." If you listen to what Kurt was talking about, he says that read is a high-low read only. It's not a third or fourth read because if you run it correctly, 1 or 2 is going to be open. So that's what you're looking at. So where Josh threw it was actually the correct location to throw it. It was just a really bad route that was read really well by a safety because it was such a shoddy route.
Yeah.
But that fumble right after it was just was just a mind fuck.
I got to thinking all week about the Josh Allen thing. Like, you know, what is going on? Right? You know, with Josh, like my like thinking, Mikey, on Allen, and I could totally be wrong because I'm not Josh Allen, but how I see this whole thing, Mikey, is I feel like Josh Allen, going back since high school, has always felt like, you know, like that he had to prove something to somebody, right? And that he needed to, you know, show that he can be the guy, that he's the guy, that he can make any play. And it doesn't matter what the defense is. It doesn't matter how big the player is. He's going to run you over. He's going to do. And then he had that mentality going into college. Mm-hmm. And it hurt him. He got hurt in college with his arm trying to live by that mentality. Then he had to prove his way into the NFL because he had a lot of doubters, right? And he continues year 6. And it's crazy to me because it's mental, Mikey. I'm telling you, because to me, it's like Allen says it. He tells you, he knows it. I should know better. I need to be smarter. I need to do this. But yet he still wants to prove that he can make that unbelievable throw that shouldn't be made, or, you know, run that guy over, that, you know, hurdle that guy. Like, and sometimes he needs to dial it back a little bit. And that's where I think the mental part comes in, where it's just not clicking on the field. I think it's clicking when he's done and he realizes, fuck, I made it. Like, I shouldn't do that. I made a mistake. But by then it's too late because the game's over. But it's just like, he needs to get past that mental stage where it's like, I need to prove everybody wrong. I need to be, I got to be the hero. I got it. It's, you're right, all the time. Like, you know, and that, I think that's what's messing him up in his career as far as the turnover battle goes, because because he'll have killer games, Mikey, where he plays smart. He doesn't, but I think it's when the pressure gets on and he plays a good team, like the Jets defense. It's like, I'm going to beat this team. I'm going to show you I can, you know, throw that fucking 55-yard bomb. I'm I'm going to run this dude over. I don't care. I'm doing everything I can to prove that I can win this game. You know what I mean? And I think that's what cost him, because he doesn't always need to do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't always need to put that pressure on him. He has guys on the team that are there for a reason to help. And I think that's where it falls, off for him. And that's my thinking. I could totally be wrong, but I feel like that's where, it's a mental thing. And I don't know, Mikey, and you said it yourself. It just may be he never gets over that.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like the coaches have talked to him about it clearly. The players have told, Diggs have talked.
Yeah.
And if they're not getting through to him, then what will it take? I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's an internal thing inside of him.
Right. But I go back then to also Josh Allen. I go back and go, okay, in 2021, he told himself, because it's not being a proud thing, because he told himself in 2021, I need to be better. I need to see a mechanic. I need to fix my mechanics because something's wrong here. I'm throwing 55% completion, and he went, got it fixed, and he was a much better quarterback. But that's physical. It's the mental side where he's having a tough time correcting, and that's the being hero all the time, making unnecessary.
And it's not even all the time, because
it's not all the time,
because he played within structure most of that game. Those plays where he made those dumb mistakes is when pressure's on him, and he hasn't learned. And the problem is he hasn't learned to not have to win every play.
Every play, exactly. There's a play. That's what I mean. The fumble is a prime example, and we talked about this.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we talked about it Monday night. You fumble the ball. It is what it is, bro. And unless that is the last play of the game, I get it. Pick it up and do what you got to do. But you should know what quarter you're in, what the score is, what down it is. Take the L, live to see another play. And he had the opportunity when he picked the ball up. Instead, he chose to be a fullback and try to pick up unnecessary yards. And that's going to happen. These teams, Mikey, are no longer, when their quarterback takes off, they are no longer a quarterback. They are going to hit you. They're going to go after the ball. They know Josh fumbles, so they're going to attack the ball. And sure enough, it happened. Bro, when that play happened, Mikey, I had a feeling something bad right away was going to happen when he scooped the ball up. I'm like, here we go. I just knew it. Like, it's just a bad situation he put himself in. There we go.
Just dive on and kill it.
That's it.
Dive on and kill it.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all. Alpha Rob, this is part of the problem. He picked up that fumble in Dallas and got the first down. He refuses to lose a rep. He thinks he can win every rep. Like, even without the fumble, you go back to the first interception. He could have ran for the first down. Instead, he's like, oh, I have a guy on a deep.
Absolutely.
And he overthrew him by like 15 yards. It wasn't even close. Okay, it's a long punt. Got it. Fine. And then he got pressure up the middle. Morse whiffed on Williams. So he couldn't read what was over the middle. So he's like, I got Diggs deep. I'm gonna give him a 50-50 ball. He overthrew him.
Right.
So
they're running, and then really go back to the beginning, the first series where he's running for a first down. He picks up the first down. He has a clear opportunity going out of bounds. Instead, he wants to fight for 1 yard and gets popped by 2 defenders. Stupid. Then the other one, he's 8 yards short of the first down with 2 defenders he's trying to hurdle. It makes zero sense there. Like, Josh, you're going to get hurt. And then what does that happen? If he gets hurt, it costs the team. We cannot win without Josh Allen. That is plain and simple. Josh Allen is a freaking beast. He's a hell of a quarterback. I still have him as a top 5 quarterback. I don't care what anyone says. The dude has the heart, biggest heart in the world. Loves football, loves his teammates. But, bro, you got to realize if you get hurt, it's a wrap. It is over, and you got to play smarter than that, and that's it. It has to click eventually, Mikey, or he will get hurt, and then we're going to be sitting here going, why the fuck did he not slide when he had the opportunity? It's just he has to learn to play better. That's it. Play smarter, not even better, smarter. That's it.
I'll go back and look at this one, Sean. It didn't feel like he had 3.5 seconds to throw before Williams got to him, because Williams got beat off Williams.
That's a lot of time, bro.
Yeah, Williams beat Morris off the line quick. So I'll have to go back and look at that one again, but it didn't seem like it was 3.5 seconds. Josh was bad post snap read. It was just like he didn't even try. Josh struggled with some of the quick ones. They confused him. Let's call it what it is.
Absolutely.
That defense was rushing 3 to 4 all night long and dropping 7 or 8 guys. They were winning and getting home, and there was nowhere to go with the ball. You go back and look at what Minnesota did to Philly. The difference was Philly ran the ball on Thursday night.
Right.
We can't run the ball.
I got to say, though, going back in the film, Mikey, I don't know if you watched the film yet. Did you have a chance?
I did.
There was holes. Now, I'm not saying there was a lot for Cook, but he definitely
he missed some. He
missed some holes. You know what I saw a lot? You know what I saw in Cook on Monday? I saw James Cook rookie year first half. James Cook, in my opinion. Now, some people thought James Cook had a good. I thought he did okay. I didn't think he played terrible, but I felt like he was very impatient at times. He didn't let his blocks develop. I felt he rushed it. He was running in the back of his offensive line. He kind of was doing like the Zach Moss thing. And that's one thing I loved about Singletary, even in his rookie year, bro. Very patient with his blocks. He can make the first man miss, a little bit stronger as far as, shedding tackles. James Cook did not shed any tackles in that game. There was plays I thought he could have, he was going to beat it to the outside, got caught up. But he's much better on the outside. I got to say, outside runner, I think that's where he excels. Inside, he struggles, man.
His vision was bad Monday night. Like holes would open up on the left and he'd go right.
Go to right. Yep. And then it run right into the back of Mitch Morse or back of Torrance. Like just not reading the route, not reading the holes, not hitting the wrong holes, plain and simple.
Yes, I'm with you, Alpha Rob. We should have used Harrison Murray more when they were when they were just running 4 and dropping. We should have used our big guys and pounded it.
I thought when Murray came in on the few runs he did, I thought they were good. Got 3 or 4. I mean, they weren't like excellent, but I felt like he at least was making some damage. He was making the D lineman pay a little bit. Rather than just get caught up and lose a yard or 2 in the backfield, he at least was gaining 3 yards. I mean, I'll take it. You know what I mean? But they went away from it. It's crazy. And that's on Dorsey, by the way. That's definitely on Dorsey.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dorsey could have helped a little bit too, more by using more motion and misdirection.
100%.
It was a very odd game plan. And that's the thing about Dorsey. Dorsey comes out with his game plans. I normally like his game plans at the beginning. He struggles with, and Dable had the same problem. He struggles with in-game adjustments.
Yep.
When by the way, counter, he doesn't.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. And by the way, I have to say though, because after this game, I'm like, damn, that game reminded me very similar of a game. And I tweeted this out, and I think honestly, it kind of like put Bills Mafia, because I got a lot of responses. It kind of put Bills Mafia at ease a little bit, because they were like, well, you're right, Tommy. We've been down this road before. 2021. By the way, Brian Daboll is our OC. Week 1 at home, coming off a great 2020 season, right? We're high expectations, right? We fucking lose to Pittsburgh Steelers 23-16.
Yeah.
I mean, super similar, guys. We were up at half. Terrible second half. No in-game adjustments by Daboll. Pittsburgh did their game adjustments. Beat us 23-16.
Yep, I remember
that. Same thing. And then we winded up figuring shit out and winded up winning the division that year. And that was the year, by the way, we went to the championship, AFC championship.
Yep. Can I give you a positive?
Yeah.
I'll give you something to hang your hat on moving forward.
Yeah.
When the Bills started like gangbusters last year, we faded down the stretch. When the Bills start slow, they usually mount and get going towards the end of the year. That's when we need to be really good anyways, is at the end of the year. Game 1, at the end of the day, with the schedule that we have, like, and the conference that we're in, no matter where just getting into the dance is what matters. Would I like to win our division? Yes, I'd like her to win our division. But at the end of the day, get into the dance and be playing your best ball and when the playoff hits. So, we had a really bad week 1. It's time to shake that off, and let's move on to the Raiders. The Raiders are not the Jets.
Right. I just, what I want to see is this one. I want to see. We have to see. I need to see Ken Dorsey game plan better, one, especially against better defenses. He knew what this Jets defense was. We saw him twice last year. There's no surprise what the Jets were going to do Monday night. I felt like it wasn't a terrible game plan, but I didn't think it was good either. I didn't think it was the greatest. I also, like you said, the in-game adjustments. If he can't learn to play, design better plays against better defenses, we're not going to go anywhere under this Ken Dorsey in this offense. He has to get better. He has to be more creative, especially when things aren't going right up front with the offensive line. Okay, the run blocking's not good in the inside side. Okay, let's figure a way we can get him to the outside with some more blockers, tight ends, whatever you got to do. Okay, pass blocking's not good. Okay, let's get the ball out of his hand quicker. Let's run an up-tempo offense. Like, there was nothing there. And the moment that we scored, by the way, in the 2-minute drive, what did we do? We went up-tempo. Things were going good. We were moving the chains.
Josh got into a rhythm.
Was calm, got in the rhythm. What did we do overtime? What the fuck was that? No up-tempo, very fucking plain Jane. 2nd and 15, handoff, shotgun handoff at that, which, by the way, stop the shotgun handoff, period. It never doesn't work for us. We're not built that way. It's terrible. Defenses read it like crazy.
The shotgun draw.
I cannot stand it. Go under center and hand the damn ball off to the running back. I can't do that shotgun draw crap. It does nothing. We're not built that way. And we continue. We've done it in our Dable, by the way. The same shit on our Dable. So it has changed. I'm almost wanting to tell Dorsey, bro, I know you like Dable. I know you learned under his system, but maybe you need to write some plays up for yourself, buddy. You know what I mean?
It's not only that. It's when Josh starts to get in his own head. You need to get him back to things that are easy for him. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like Dorsey does that. Right. It's like, okay, let's call a run play. Let's give him a rollout with a quick, easy dump off.
Right.
Like little things to get him out of what he was in and back into a rhythm. You don't see that with Dorsey right now. Now, could it come? Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it now. So I already said it with McDermott. This is my last season as far as my support goes as head coach. Now, I don't think he'll get fired even if it goes bad, but it's also my last season for Dorsey. And I normally go 3 years on a coach, any quarterback, any player, but if I have to see more, I have to see better.
He has all the weapons.
You have everything he needs. There is zero excuse now, Mikey. You got zero excuse. Listen, I know this offensive line isn't the greatest, but I don't think it's bad either. And I think you have weapons now that are more than capable of making this offense go. And once again, if you fail to do any creativity, any kind of different kind of plays that open these guys up, then it's pointless. Why bring these guys? It's just I just don't understand it. So it has to change.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I do want to see it.
You're not that late.
Yeah, Alfred comes in and says, no more shotgun runs or screens. Allen doesn't have the patience for it to develop. It's not just Allen doesn't have the patience for it to develop.
Are terrible.
It's our offensive line doesn't sell it either.
Nope.
It's like we
haven't ran a screen pass since 2017, bro.
Yeah.
Correctly.
It's bad.
For real.
It's bad.
I'm serious. I couldn't tell you the last screen pass that was like that gave us like really good yards. Like, it's bad. It never works.
Did you see the Vaughn cast with Diggs?
I did. It was good.
Listening to Vaughn tell Stephon, you were open on every single play. Josh could have looked at Diggs the entire game and thrown it to him, and Diggs would have caught like 30 balls.
But he also said, I'm not a quarterback and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm also just looking at you the whole time.
Yeah.
You don't realize the pressure he's under and like guys trying to knock his head off at the same time.
Right.
So I think almost every player eventually gets open, but quarterbacks only have so much time to go through their reads before they're,
and
under attack.
Some quarterbacks have longer than others.
100%. That is accurate. That is true. Shit. I wish I'd take the Denver Broncos line that first year with Manning. Take it all day.
That Dallas line?
Absolute stud. The Dallas line. Yeah, dude. I mean,
I'll take Patrick Mahomes' line. The
100%
line.
Yeah, no.
No doubt.
Or
the Cleveland Browns line. That line is just
nasty.
That line is nasty.
It is.
By the way, did you see that Conklin, the right tackle, is out? So now that
know
Juwan Jones, the guy that we wanted to draft in the 3rd, is going to be the starting right tackle.
Yeah.
So we'll find out what he would have been.
Yep. Sure. By the way, real quick, on this game coming up, I'm sure we're going to talk about it. What is going on with the Chandler Jones thing? Isn't that the fucking weirdest thing? Boy, I am saying the F-bomb a lot tonight. I got to relax. YouTube's going to cut me off. What is going on with the Chandler Jones thing? It's the oddest thing. And then nobody really, right? There's no really inside. I think he pissed the owner off somehow. There's something. I think they just paid the guy last year. There has to be something going on. He said something to somebody about the owner or GM for them to not play him. Because he said he's locked out the building. Remember? Yeah. And then he said something about the owner, and now they're just not playing him. Really odd. Like, and it's nothing to do with NFL related. Like, nothing to do with, like, he, got in trouble. Like, at least it hasn't been recorded.
So he bought the coach and GM a watch, and they were in the process of renegotiating something in his contract. And then, like, 2 days later, he was locked out of the building, and he was asking for a trade. So something happened in the negotiations. Because I heard it on Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee show was talking about it. And they said it was very odd. And
how could he be asking for more money a year after he just got paid, though?
I think they were working on adjusting his contract. Okay, I don't know if he was asking for more money,
like a restructure or something.
Yes, so I think they were talking about shortening his contract, or taking some. Okay. And I don't know if he wasn't good with it or if he asked for them to shorten it, because you have to remember that they look like they're going through, like, Devontae Adams is having problems with them too.
Yeah, that I heard.
In the front office. So it's not just Chandler Jones. The difference is Chandler Jones, when whatever happened in their discussions, something was said, some bad blood happened.
If you're locked out of a building, though, Mikey, like, something had to happen more than just discussions went off the rail. There had to have been like he like threatened them somehow and they took it the wrong way, or took it like this guy's dangerous. Don't want him in the building, right?
Yeah.
Or he said something that the owner's like, whoa, I can't, F you then. I don't know. It's just odd. Now, are they paying him still? I would assume, right? Because they're the ones not wanting him on the field. Correct. So I would think he's still getting paid.
Here's the thing. We don't know who's doing it is. No one's. It's been very tight-lipped. Pat McAfee talked about it. No one knows. They're just saying personal reasons. They don't know if it's
what
Jones or if it's the. I think they're paying him. I think they have to pay him.
That's what I'm saying. God, if I'm Jones, then I'm like, fuck it. Okay.
Right.
Hey, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Jason comes in and says Aikman and Buck commenting was driving me crazy, saying the wrong last names and rambling. Listen, I put them on mute. I don't listen to them. Like, Aikman and Buck drive me crazy. I can't listen to them at all. We did, Scott. We talked about this at the open the show.
You definitely want to go back and watch because it's a whole thing. We did like 20 minutes of it. So when we're done with the show, go back and watch the beginning because we touched base on it right away.
Yep. And I can't remember exactly what I said.
I said a lot, but you're gonna definitely go back. It's about 20 minutes of it.
Yep. I think we said it's really up to Diggs, however he feels about it, and the players.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's where we finally settled on it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So players don't like Josh McDaniels. No, Darren Waller had the same. The tight end had the same problem.
Yeah.
Like McDaniels, like he had the same problems in Denver too. Like he had a problem with Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler, and he shipped them both out.
I think this is an owner thing, though. I think it's
a
it might be maybe, but I don't think so. Because if you're the owner and you're paying this dude, right, big money. It's not like this is a rookie 3rd round pick. You're like, who cares? Hey, okay, whatever. You're paying this guy to sit on big millions, bro, big bucks, and he's pissed off at your coach. I'm telling your coach, you better make that.
It's not just
you. I don't give. No, I'm just saying, if it's a coach, that's what I mean. If it's a coach, That's why I don't think it's just the coach thing.
It's the coach and the GM.
Yeah, this goes up, and the owner clearly has the GM's back in this situation, and is going to eat the money, I guess. You know, if I'm the owner, though, I'm not. I'm telling him, yo, I can't eat this money. Y'all got to figure this shit out.
Especially because he doesn't have that kind of money. He's not one of those rich owners.
Right,
you know,
right. Figure it out, guys. Play nice. Get him back.
I should say rich owners. He's not one of the wealthy owners. He's the rich owner. He's not a wealthy owner. Because if you're an owner,
you're still pretty rich. Yeah.
Like it's one of those things because McDaniels also brought in his buddy from New England to be the GM. So it's his hand-picked GM.
Okay.
So it doesn't surprise me that they would be, McDaniel has a weird relationship with the players. You either love him or you hate him, and there's a lot of people who hate him, and he just gets rid of the people who hate him. Like it's a very dysfunctional. Like even Josh Jacobs has a problem with them. He came back to play because he wants to move on.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's a
very seems like they've been had a problem, and that Raiders organization has seemed to have a problem for the past 10 seasons. It seems like so. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yes, you do, Roy.
I mean, the guy's haircut doesn't look like a wealthy owner. He looks.
I got a guy that goes on my bar, bro. I got a guy that goes on my bar, bro. Looks just like him. That weird haircut, bro. I'm like, it's the weirdest thing, bro.
You know what? I love this, Dallas. Yes, we do need to get Kincaid more involved. I thought he looked really good early, and we just didn't get him involved enough.
I agree. And we ran the 12. The frustrating part is, and I will give Dorsey credit because we were worried that Dorsey wasn't going to use Kincaid much, going into the season. We were kind of, nervous, me and Mikey, when we drafted him. And to his credit, Kincaid was out there quite a bit. We did run a lot of 12 personnel. We just didn't really run plays through him. And that has to change if you want to, because Kincaid, even in that game, when given the opportunity, he made plays. I mean, only 4, but you got to use him more. You 100% need to get him more involved. Also, like I said, we talked about it. Trent Sherfield, the guy that everybody was talking about having a great training camp. What happened there? Like 0 targets, and you got to get guys involved, especially guys that earn their position on this team. 0 targets. That should never happen. Even Davis, though, bad route that he ran, 2 targets, I think 3 targets. Yeah, that's not enough. He's better than that. And same with Dawson Knox, is not enough. 3 targets, not 3 receptions, not enough. You have to get these guys more involved. They are playmakers. Each one of those guys I just mentioned are playmakers. None of those guys are McKenzie. We're like, I understand that. All these guys can do something with the ball. You gotta spread the ball around. Gotta get those guys involved.
You know what? And I'm with Triggs on this one. Kincaid should be Allen's second read. Allen loves Davis. But Davis's shoddy route running came back to bite him the last week. Like I love Davis, and I hope it comes true. But nothing I've seen so far tells me it's going to. Because if he runs routes like that, and maybe he ran that shoddy route because he felt like he didn't have grip to really put his foot in the ground. Maybe that was the reason. Whatever the reason was, it was shoddy route running that that didn't help. Kincaid needs to be our second option. I wanted to touch on this one right here from Y-Town. Says, who's the problem with the run game? Is it Mitch Morris? Is it Cromer? Is it Dorsey? Because our run vets never look in tandem like other teams.
It's rough.
Cromer is our run game coordinator. I don't know. I want to say yes, all 3 of them. I mean, really? Because it's all here's where the real problem lies. One guy on every play gets beat, and it blows up the play.
Yeah,
everybody never does their job on these runs. Like 4 of the 5 will do the job, and one guy loses and blows up the play, and it's always a different guy.
Right. So the offensive line, if you really think about it, guys, right? Especially offensive line. and I always go back to the whole chain thing, right? It's like a chain, right? If
Mhm.
one link breaks, that wheel ain't rolling, that wheel ain't moving. And Spencer Brown doesn't do his job. Oh boy, here we go. Right now, Osiris Torrance needs to help out on his man, and then now his man's going to get beat on it, And same with Mitch Morse. Mitch Morse gets beat up on a play. Right now somebody has to take it. They all have to do their job, bro. If they don't do their job, things get messy. Plays look bad. And it seems like to be the case every single season for the Buffalo Bills. And Deion Dawkins, by the way, very Pro Bowler when he plays to his abilities, really, really good. One of the better tackles in the NFL. But when he doesn't, and he has these games where I don't know what the hell goes on. He's sloppy and bad and penalties and getting beat. It's like, what Deion Dawkins are we going to get? Like, and it should not be that way. Like Deion Dawkins needs to also look in the mirror and say, "Hey, bro, wake up, man. You got to play better because we know you can."
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but lately it's been more 60-40 on that than the 80-20 of Josh Allen. Josh Allen has those same issues. What Josh Allen do you get? But it's more 80-20, 80 to 85% of the time, 15 to 20% of the time. He's bad Josh. But Dawkins lately, it's been more like a 60-40. 60% he's good, 40% he's bad. Like, I don't know what's going on there because
I have no idea.
He's supposed to be our franchise left tackle, supposed to stabilize, and he's not. Right. And it's and
I understand when Morse. I keep telling you, Mike. I think Morse is like, this is for me, like he's definitely not what he obviously what he was. And when we picked him up, he was a top 5 center, right? Right now, in my opinion, he's in the middle of the pack. I still love him. I think he's smart. Like, and I love that about him. Like, him and Josh have that good connection. I trust Mitch Morse, at least hiking the ball. Like, good to go there, right? Smart guy. I also like his leadership. He's the vet right there. Like, but playing wise, like, he's just not what he was. And it hurts sometimes. Hurts the team sometimes,
He was never a
pin and pull. He's good.
Yeah, he's never been a power blocker.
I agree. Pin and pull is where his strengths are.
Yep.
But still, though, like, we got to get better. And I think they need to address that center position. If it's Ryan Bates, cool, next year. But I think it's time after the season to move on from Morse.
Not only that, from a money standpoint too, it makes more sense.
Money, money, and just got to upgrade. And go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to hit on Spen's comment here. It says, the only thing I didn't like is they kept attacking the sidelines and flats. They never went over the middle. And he's right. Very rarely did we ever throw over the middle. And that could have been because they were dropping 7 or 8 guys every time. Mm-hmm. So they were hitting the sidelines and the flats because that's where the check down was. But we do need to attack the middle more. And for whatever reason, we weren't.
Yeah. And I felt like Allen was off on that. That one play, was it in overtime where I think it was fourth quarter where Diggs was running a slant and Allen threw it to the side. I mean,
Allen threw it behind him. It was earlier in the game,
way behind him. Yeah.
But if you go back and rewatch that play, Tommy, he threw it behind him because if he threw it to him, it gets picked off.
So maybe he played it smart. Okay. See,
it was almost like him dirtying the ball.
Okay. But he was also behind on, I think it was Kincaid. He was low and to the outside, hit the ground. Or it was either him or Knox. I forget who it was. He was off a little bit. Allen was definitely off. And by the way, when you're under pressure like that, what do they say? Like, you start hearing footsteps a little early, you start hearing a ghost or whatever. Like, it's very possible Allen getting a little bit, because there was times I felt like he didn't need to throw the ball right away. He had more time. And maybe because he felt like the pressure was there and it really wasn't yet, he was getting rid of the ball a little bit too early at times. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but that's what pressure does, Mikey. And that's why I feel like we need to continue on defense doing that, because you see how quarterbacks can get, nervous and rush. Look at Mahomes on that opening week. Bro, the Lions were bringing it, and Mahomes was throwing passes he normally doesn't throw. He was a little throwing passes that were overthrown at times. And that's because he's feeling footsteps. The pressure's getting to him, right? So he's making plays he normally doesn't do, doing things. So I kind of felt like that's what happened to Allen against the Jets. The Jets are a very good defense, bro.
Scott, I don't know if we will be able to keep Morris. I know you still think he's top 10.
I don't think so.
I don't know if we'll be able to keep him from a money standpoint, unless he takes a pay cut, because his cap number is going to be kind of big, and we can save a bunch of money, and we're already over the cap going into next year. So, and us having Bates in our back pocket, I would be okay with us drafting a center and starting Ryan Bates to see if Bates can't do it. Then you have a center that you drafted in the back pocket. Although I would have loved for this, but I would have wanted the center drafted this year if that's what we were going to do. That's
true too. Yep.
You know,
instead of fucking piling up, 26 round picks.
Right. Yeah, Scott, this is a great one. The Jets are, Josh plays bad against the Jets. And it's not even just last season. Go back and watch all of the Jets games over the last few years.
Not good.
The Bills struggle against the Jets. I mean, I think there was one game we beat them with nothing but field goals.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we got, that's what I'm saying. You got to figure it out. That's also on coaching in general. Yeah. So McDermott as well. Like McDermott's the head coach. He has to figure things out too. It's not just on the coordinators. Like he is the head coach.
Yeah, Dunn. Did you watch the Kurt Warner breakdown? Because he talks about that
right
at length. Spen comes in. I don't know what everyone expects out of Ryan Bates, because Ryan Bates is going to be a downgrade from Morris, and everyone seems to want Morris gone because of his play. Is he worse than Morris? Because every time Ryan Bates comes in the center and he's had a handful of snaps, he's looked really good.
Yeah.
So I don't think Morris is done this year by any means. I like having Mitch Morris in there. He's not an elite run blocker by any means, but I think he's still a really good center.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be worth the money we're going to have to pay him next year, and that's my issue with it.
Right. I'm with you on that, and listen, you have to understand, guys, eventually these guys, they, just like Saffold, right? Saffold was a Pro Bowler. He was really good, but eventually their time comes where they're just not what they were. And Morse is not what he once was. It's just facts. And I'm not saying Morse is bad, but the Buffalo Bills eventually, just like any aging player, they have to make a decision. And also, like Mikey said, financially, like you can't keep an aging center around because he's done, he was good once, and he's okay now, but why? Like, you can't do it. You can't think of eventually you have to move on, guys. You got to get younger. This is a young sport, man.
Yep.
It's no knock on Mitch Morris. It's just reality of the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Dallas says rewatch the game. Josh Allen had open targets on the interceptions. Can we expect a big game from him on Sunday? If this continues, should we be worried? Yeah, if it continues, absolutely we should be worried. But let's talk about that first part, because we talked a little bit about it already. He had open targets on all those interceptions. The first one, he was rolling right. He actually didn't have open targets, but he had open field. He should have ran, and he chucked
100%.
The second one, he had someone in his face, and he chucked it deep and gave Diggs a chance for the ball. He just
unnecessary throw. Unnecessary throw. Two guys.
It was absolutely.
He should have back off his back foot.
He should have
safety reading it the whole time.
Yeah,
eat it, throw it away, whatever you got to do. Yep.
He should have just taken the sack. The third one was actually a 2-man route. So if you watched the Kurt Warner breakdown, although Diggs was wide open running across the middle, where Josh threw was actually the correct throw based off of the coverage that they gave. A sloppy route by Davis allowed the safety to break on the ball because he read it.
Well, they even called that in the game. I believe it was, I forget who it was, but they even said the route was poorly ran by one of the announcers.
So when you look at it, yes, you have to remember, just because we see a guy open on the rewatches doesn't mean that we know where he was in the progression.
Correct. Now, I will say, though, to counter that, when I watched the film, there was a few times early in the progression that he had opportunities to go different routes or to different players. Now, once again, though, I don't know the call on that play, but I'm just saying Trent Sherfield was open on a play, wide open. It was like a 20-yard. He was cutting through the middle, wide open. he could have went that route. I think that was the interception, actually, one of them. He had him wide open, dude. And he had Kincaid where he underthrew him. He easy catch there. And then he had Knox a few times. So there wasn't a ton that I saw that were wide open that he had early on chances, but I definitely feel like there was guys open at times, and he just chose to go with the tougher throw, or, he chose just he didn't look their way. I don't know. I also think, though, that, and I told you this, Mikey, and you know this, Josh takes a little bit for him to trust a player, to really have that connection. And him not going to Trent Sherfield early on, it's not really a surprise in a way, even though I wish he would, because they don't really have that bond. They don't have that connection. I don't know if Josh doesn't feel quite comfortable yet throwing his way, but Josh is like that. And same thing with you got to go understand. Kincaid's a rookie, so he really has to feel that connection early. I don't know yet. With him and Diggs, they've had that. There was no problem. Diggs had a great game. And I also feel like that's why he goes to Gabe a lot. Though, Mikey, I think Gabe only had couple targets, 3 targets, 2 receptions, right? Something like that. It wasn't like he didn't throw to him a lot either. So it was one of those games, guys. Sometimes you do got to tip your cap to the defense.
Yep.
That game was a tough game. Let's see what happens this week, and we'll talk about it now. But I think Josh does have a bounce back game, though there's a lot to learn from this last week's game. And I hope the next time we play the Jets again, that we can correct that.
Yeah. Done on every play, there's somebody open.
Oh, 100%.
It's all about the read. So we 100%. Can go back and this is kind of like what Diggs said on the Voncast. I don't have to play quarterback. I'm not back there doing that. I may have been open, but I don't know what he's looking at. You know, that read could have been read 4 and he didn't have time to get to read 4, or he felt real comfortable about something that he saw with the defense and he was waiting for someone to open and it never opened. So he missed a wide open guy. Like you can go back and play armchair QB, all the time.
Oh, easy.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Easy.
It's
100%.
easy,
right. We can all go, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Why didn't he take off? Why didn't he just? Now it's the dumb plays, though. I think is where we are allowed to do that.
Chucking it 60 yards downfield made no sense. Pick up the fumble and get smashed and fumble again makes no sense.
I think we're allowed to be that armchair quarterback at that point, but missing guys, not going to certain reads. I understand. I totally get that, Mikey. I'm on board with you there. I'm just, obviously we're going to just call it the way we see it because that's what we do here. But there was, like I said, there was some guys open. And listen, that's what film is for. It's a long season. I'm sure they're going to go, and he's going to go, damn, I had you here. I should have went here. I should have done. And let's just hope it sticks, man. That's it. It's early on, man. That's all I can tell you guys. I'm not too concerned.
And how do you know that he predetermined every throw? Are you in the room with him? That's my take, Sean. That's what it looks like. But that doesn't mean he wasn't reading the coverage. I guarantee you he didn't predetermine I'm throwing the ball 60 yards off my back foot as someone's in my face.
Yeah, that's not how it goes. You should know that. That's not how it goes.
Like I get some of them looked very much predetermined. And some of them probably are predetermined as that's how the plays
certain plays in certain situations 100% are predetermined. But in a course of a game, most of them no. You go absolutely not, man. Listen, quarterbacks quick. You got to throw that ball. You got only a certain amount of time to get rid of it. Go through your looks. Not easy, bro. I would not listen. Every player in the NFL that's not a quarterback says the same thing. I would not want to play quarterback. Right? Like that is a tough.
He said Knox
was
right.
Paid the most.
Right?
Yeah.
He said Knox was in front of him on the first one and didn't even look his way. He looked at the other side of the field at Hardy. And that's probably where his first read was. And then he got chased and he rolled left. And Knox followed him, and he probably could have hit Knox on the dump off. You have to remember, we don't know what his reads are.
Exactly.
I guarantee you, if his first read was supposed to be Knox and he looked at him and he was wide open, he's like, I don't want to throw it there. Against that Jets, he was throwing a lot of the short stuff. So
early on,
argue about it all night, but
early on, matter of fact, when you go back and watch the film early on, it seemed like Dorsey wanted to get Hardy involved early and then went away from him late because Hardy, I'll be honest with you, I think he still has potential to do stuff in the offense. Wasn't making a play when he had the ball in his hand. Now, granted, that's a fast defense or on it, but he really wasn't doing anything with it. And mind you, there were short passes. I think they were trying to see what Hardy could do with an open field, like yards after catch, kind of see if he can make something out of nothing in a way. Because all those passes to Hardy were short, real quick passes, and it just didn't do anything. And I think they went away from that, you know what I mean, from Hardy and those quick passes from Allen. But yeah, that's how I feel about the Hardy thing.
You also have to remember they're dropping 7-8 guys into coverage. There's not a whole lot of room out there, anyways, to get run after the catch. So, well, let's see what it looks like this week. If it looks the same way this week, well, we can have this conversation.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Dunn, you're right. Josh usually has one really bad game a year. So let's get it out game one, and let's dominate the rest of the year.
Yeah, for me, that was probably his worst game I've seen since rookie year.
His rookie year, yeah.
100%.
Since that New England game where he threw 3 picks.
It was just bad. It was bad all around. You know what? No, I'll take that back. The worst game I've seen Allen, I mean, since this Jets game, was the Jaguar game. That was terrible.
Yeah.
That was a really bad game.
Yeah.
Remember, the other Josh Allen wound up playing better than our Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was all over media. Yeah, that was bad.
Yep. All right. So let's hit the Andrew reports, Tommy.
Yeah.
Mitch Morse was the only one on there for finger, but it's his non-snapping finger. He was a full practice all week, but he had the injury, so they put him on there. 2 guys out. We already talked about Chandler Jones. Jacoby Myers is in concussion protocol. He won't be playing this week. And then a bunch of other guys were just banged up, and they're all good to go for this weekend. So the only 2 guys actually missing the game is Chandler Jones and Jacoby Myers, who are 2 big losses for them. Chandler Jones Chandler Jones is one of their elite pass rushers, and Myers was probably
a good game first week. Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone's double covering Devontae, and Myers caught 2 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah, Triggs. Jones can't even get in the building, bro.
Yeah, they've locked him out of the building, so I don't know what's going on there. You can't even get in.
By the way, to touch base on somebody talking about this, really hate the run call in overtime. Yeah, you know what in hindsight for that, real quick, thinking back, and of course, generally you want to take the ball first, but now that I had time to soak and think, we should have kicked off because they weren't moving the ball at all when they were on the other side of the field.
Did we win the toss?
Yeah, we won the toss.
And elected to receive?
Yes.
What a dumb call by McDermott.
Right. That's what I mean.
I thought they won the toss.
No, we won the toss and chose to receive the ball. Now, if this was anyone else and we were moving the ball with ease and our defense was not playing good, I would say, yeah, hell yeah. Normally, you want the ball first.
Dumb call by McDermott.
But against Zach Wilson, who wasn't doing anything on his side of the field, you kick off there.
Well,
and you get a 3 and out, you let it punt, and you have good field position. Then you go down and kick a field goal, you're done.
Yeah, you have to remember.
They'd have to score a touchdown, Mikey. Even if they come down and get a field goal. Let's say hypothetically, because I don't think they would have. The only touchdown I did was late on the turnover. Zach Wilson wasn't driving them long.
Oh, you're talking about in the overtime.
Overtime, yeah. If you kick off there in overtime to them, I think they go 3 and out there. I don't think they
take the ball. You take the ball.
I don't think so.
You take the ball.
So you think Zach? I'm just saying, on with that team, that offense, how they were moving it, you think Zach Wilson would have drove the majority of the field and scored a touchdown? I don't think so.
No, I don't. But you still.
But you would have got good field, but you would have got good field position.
Did you see them break runs? Did you see them break runs?
I'm just saying. I would have. But how many points did they score with Zach Wilson? How many touchdowns?
1.
And why was that touchdown?
Short field position.
Right. How many long drives does Zach Wilson have in that game? 0. You kick off. You have him start at 25. You get a 3 and out, hopefully. I'm not saying that would have worked out, but I'm just saying I think the smart way, I'm curious. Chat, what do you think? I'm curious.
I guarantee you, everyone in the chat says you take the ball in overtime. Because if we go down and score a touchdown, game's over.
That's correct. But if they don't score, even if they score a field goal, Mikey, we have an opportunity still to answer. David had to come down and score a touchdown. Let's say you get a 3 and out, they punt it. Now you have the ball at the 40, 35. Great field position. Field goal wins it. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to go with that. I get it. But how many times were they running? How many times were they running and they should have ran more and they went away from it? It didn't really, they didn't score a touchdown on a run. They scored a touchdown on a pass. That was because of overtime. See?
I think you guys are crazy. The numbers say you take the ball.
And I'm with you, Mikey. I am with you 1,000%. But I'm also about how the game is going. And sometimes there's 2-minute drives that you take that, for instance, that Jaguar game way back in the day. Remember I got into that riff with the one guy? Mm-hmm. He was saying how normally, and I agree, on 2-minute drives, you generally milk the clock so the other team doesn't get the ball before half and go down and score. But if you're struggling to score any points, I don't care about the time, especially if your defense is doing their job, Mikey. So go down and just score. Don't forget the time at that point. I don't care if you score in 1 minute and give them a minute. Your defense is holding them the whole time. So I'm just saying, I think it plays out how the game's playing out. For me, that's how I see it. You do it how the game goes.
I believe that McDermott made the right call in overtime, taking the ball. And here's another reason why. You saw what our coverage unit did.
What if
we would have kicked off and they returned it?
On a punt that was short, short. It's a different scenario. Very short punt. They weren't returning a kick, Mikey. Bass could have kicked it out of the end zone. They would have started at 25.
Bass never kicks it out of the end zone, though.
Yeah, he never does. Did it multiple times in that game. Go back in that game. They had one return on a kickoff. I swear to God.
You take the ball.
I get it. Listen,
I'm just saying 99.9% of the head coaches take the ball in that situation.
I agree. We would
murder Sean McDermott if he would have kicked off
and
they came down and scored a touchdown.
If that's the Chiefs, listen, if that's the Chiefs' high-powered offense, you don't want them to have. I totally agree.
Maybe you wouldn't have murdered him, but 99% of everybody would have murdered him. Zach Wilson drove them 75 yards. Then shame on the defense. I can't see that happening. I thought the defense did their job that whole game. I thought the defense played fantastic.
Offense put them in terrible situations. Now, I grant you the long runs totally on the defense, 100%. But they weren't running the ball at the end. They were not running the ball at the end. Absolutely not. So I just don't agree with that. I just felt like you could have got better field position, stopped them.
If they gave them the ball and they scored a TD.
I don't see, but do you think really? Scott, you think? No, honestly, Mikey, in real thought, you really believe Zach Wilson would have went down, got the ball first? They would have went down 75 yards on our defense.
No, my biggest concern with them, they broke one because they broke them throughout the game.
No, I could see that, but I'm just saying they also weren't running the ball much at the end there. A lot of teams in overtime tend to throw more. They were letting Zach Wilson throw the ball a little bit more at the end there. I don't know, but I understand. Listen, it could go either way. I just feel like they're maybe. And by the way, a reporter asked that. It wasn't just me either. Like that question was asked. So
I would have told the reporter the same thing I told you. You're insane to give away the ball in overtime when you
I get it.
But because you can also say
have an opportunity as well. So
unless the first team goes down and scores a touchdown.
Correct. I just can't. I Jets scored one touchdown that whole game, bro. And it was on a turnover.
Sonny in the house.
Sonny? My man from Alaska.
Hello, fellas. Great show.
Always sunny in Alaska.
Don't forget the clipping calling overtime. Oh, you're talking about the leg whip, the tripping call that they didn't call?
But if they still could have scored a field goal at that point and won the game. Because we have first possession. Nobody talks about that.
It would have
been
a 15-yard penalty, so it would have put a really long one. A couple runs.
And that's if they got 0 yards. That's if they got nothing. Yeah. Right. 3 and out. And I don't think that would have happened. They would have got some kind of yards. Also, I got to say Sam Martin, terrible job trying to make the tackle.
Oh my God, that was horrible. Did you see Pat McAfee talking about that?
Yeah, I was so lazy. What are you doing?
Pat McAfee said he texted him asking him what the hell he was doing. Yeah,
two-handed touch, bro. Get out of here with that. If we had the punt god,
well, also,
but he would have tried to make the tackle.
Yeah, I will tell you, all game long, the one issue we had was tackling.
Oh,
We
it seems to be
horrible.
an issue in general.
Yeah,
with this team,
horrible. Like Jordan Poyer took some bad angles on some stuff.
Oh man, yeah, he did.
I thought Milano played really well. I thought the D line played fantastic. Like even on that long run, it was a Trey White missed tackle. Everyone was in the gap.
Yeah.
Bernard forgot to move them over one gap.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a misalignment that broke it, and it left Trey White taking on two gaps, and they broke one. You know,
I still think you're gonna see Mikey Kirksey in week 3 or week
I would
4
love to. I can't wait to see Kirksey. He's a bigger linebacker.
I have a feeling, guys, and I listen, and I'm not ragging on Bernard. I didn't think Bernard played terrible. I didn't. I thought he did okay, but okay is not good. Okay is not good enough.
That was a D on tackle. Throw my shoulder at the guy's foot, and he steps over the top of him. That's what that was.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, it's not good enough, right? I mean, you got to be play better than that, bro. So Kirksey's a vet, man. I'm hoping he catches on to that playbook. And,
you know what, Paul, you are 100% right. Since Sean McDermott walked through the door, we've had tackling issues. I said this right in our post game on Monday night. The difference between the Jets defense and the Bills defense, the Jets defense tackle. All the defenders tackle. They finish.
They finish a play. 100%. And I will say this about our defense. We are there a lot. Like, we read plays great. Our players are there. They just don't finish. By the way, that goes towards getting to the quarterback. We get to the quarterback a lot. We just can't finish it. It seems like we just never are able to finish the play. And it's frustrating because quarterback gets loose, winds up making a big throw down yard. Running back gets loose, bad tackle, picks up 15, 20 yards. It's like the story of the Buffalo Bills. And Sean McDermott continues to preach, got to do this, got to be better than that, got to be. And it's okay, bro. We're year 7 under you, and it's still the same shit. Like,
and it's the type of guys he brings in. He doesn't bring in thumpers.
Right. Yeah.
He brings in guys who can play multiple positions, versatile guys.
Yeah.
Who are more coverage. Give me a freaking thumper.
Well, Dorian Williams makes tackles, and they just chose not to play him, or test them out in middle linebacker. They just wanted to.
But maybe they did test him, and he just in the meeting rooms. And
I heard nothing about that. I heard nothing about them testing them out.
Yes, they did at the very beginning of
in preseason.
In off season, and he couldn't pick up what they were trying, so they moved him outside. Is what they said.
Okay, maybe if that's the case, that's the case. But I don't.
Bean talked about it at his last presser. He said, because someone asked,
maybe it's going to catch on.
Give him they said early on we moved him in. He was struggling to catch on, so we decided at that moment we're just going to let him focus on the outside.
All right. Either way, though, then maybe they need to still take a lesson from it to make the tackle. I don't know what to tell you.
Paulie says Bernard has instincts. Dude's a baller so far. Because I know this is how he pumps up the team. Bernard gets washed out because of his size, though. That's my only issue.
Yeah, he's definitely a smaller linebacker.
Dude, I'll tell you, Floyd was a monster.
I told y'all.
What I didn't like was our second team D. Like, Epinesa was invisible, and
he had nothing, nowhere to be
invisible.
Found.
Like, he was horrible.
Shaq Lawson did okay. He made a couple plays.
He's just always out of position.
Out
of position. Can't close.
Yep. Phillips looked good until he got hurt, but I guess he's fine now, right? He's not on the injury report. So,
that's a great question. Why can't we tackle? Is it technique or players? I think it's both.
Must be.
Daquan Jones says it better than anybody. Stopping the run and tackling is a mindset. We don't have guys who have mindsets of wanting to bring violence.
Yeah.
Matt Milano likes to bring the violence. Micah Hyde brought the violence. Micah Hyde was flying all over the place.
Oh yeah, Micah Hyde. Yeah, Micah Hyde. Yeah,
he does. Bernard, he does. Our little linebacker brought when he did get there. He brought the violence. Our corners, don't really.
Phillips does when Phillips does too. When Phillips gets the opportunity.
Yep.
There is Ed Oliver too. When Ed Oliver has the opportunity, he definitely does He doesn't hit you lightly. He definitely will make you feel that hit.
The Raiders defense won't throw lunch money. I'll tell you, the Raiders defense is not the Jets defense.
No.
Outside of Crosby, who's one of the best.
Yeah, he's a beast. Yeah.
So you better be giving Spencer Brown some help on the right side.
Yeah, 100%.
So he doesn't wreck the game. We have some favorable matchups this week.
We do. We really do. And that's listen, I don't think I don't think that line's terrible for the Raiders, but they're nowhere near what the Jets bring. But Crosby is a handful. No doubt about it. They got some playmakers on offense as well, obviously Adams and Josh Jacobs. But ultimately, we should be able to get to the quarterback, Garoppolo, as well, man. Garoppolo is a pocket passer. Doesn't move at all. He's a smart quarterback, but he takes a lot of hits too, man. So
and he holds the ball a long time.
Right, because of that. He holds the ball a lot, takes a lot of hits. So this defense should look good against Garoppolo. I thought they looked fine on the pressure and the Jets quarterbacks as well. So, but they should definitely look even better. It should be a step up. And as far as our offensive line versus their defensive line, I want to see even better this week. Because I didn't think they were terrible last week. I keep telling people, I never said that offensive line stunk last week. I thought the run blocking was pretty bad. I thought their pass blocking was okay, versus a good defensive line. But it's for week one. They're all still a lot of new faces there too. You got Torrance, a rookie. You got McGovern over there. Spencer Brown still trying to find his way. And it's going to take, it might take a couple games for this line to kind of get familiar with each other, work together, and look better than what they did week one. So we'll see. But it starts this week. I need to see more. I need to see better run blocking. I need to see better pass blocking than I would have did week one. And he should.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Spen comes in and says, "Oh yeah, what's Floyd going to do without Vaughn or without Aaron Donald?" That's what everyone was saying. What did he do? Oh, wait, he sacked Aaron Rodgers, and then Aaron Rodgers had to leave the game. I thought Floyd was fantastic.
Yeah, 1.5 sacks. Almost had 2 sacks. He absolutely looked good. He was fast around the edge. Quiet guy. I gotta say, Floyd is he's not a Miller. Like, he's not a guy that's gonna, like, when he makes a sack, he doesn't really, at least I didn't see him really flaunt. He's almost kind of a quiet defender in a way. Mm-hmm. He doesn't bring that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
him and Groot were eating, man. They were eating.
Oh, dude, Groot was making noise, man.
Like, he didn't show up he did not show up in the box scores very much.
No, but he was all over.
He's wreaking havoc.
Pressure like crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Pressure like crazy. He'll get his.
Spence said Torrance gave up his first sack, but in reality, the sack was all on Allen. Did they give Torrance that sack? Because I thought the sack should have gone to Morris.
I didn't see that on the stat line. Someone could pull that up, but I don't think they did. They give him the sack?
Did they give him the sack? Because really, it should have. First, Josh Allen held the ball way too freaking long. Second, I thought it was on Morris and not on Torrance, but I could be wrong.
Right.
But I thought Torrance passed every test given.
Absolutely, rookie. Listen.
Against that
on the road, week one, right? Big 9-11, right? Big game, right? 9-11 Monday night on the road. Everybody watching Aaron Rodgers' debut against, and not to mention a shitty turf field that was wet. Players were sliding all over. He held his own. I thought he was the best. I'll be real. And maybe because I'm biased because I love the dude. I thought he was the best lineman out on that field for us in that game. I really do. I thought he held his own very well compared to everybody else that really didn't do their job. I thought he handled himself very well, Mikey. I do, and I there's going to be a lot of good games from him.
Yeah, I thought I think PFF even rated him as our best O lineman.
Okay,
and I don't really follow PFF's
neither do I. Yeah, I know
thing, but. Like, if they said he did something right, I'm kind of surprised because they usually
go exactly. Yeah,
like they're all over the place. Max Crosby could eat on defense. It's going to all depend on if we give Brown help. If we decide to let Brown go one-on-one with Max Crosby, we deserve to get whatever happens.
100%, and I agree with you on that. They're definitely going to need help dealing with Crosby. But if they get that help, your other players are going to need to step up, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to. Our line's not that bad.
Yeah, Triggs, I'm with you on that. Jets line was hot garbage, but they also had a stellar guy in AVT who's really good.
Mhm.
Their McGovern is decent, so their interior is good.
Yeah.
I would like to see what they do with a better O line too. Although I'm not sure the Raiders have a better O line than the Jets.
Right. Yeah.
Outside of Miller, Parham is getting better, but he's not there yet. They have Greg Van Rotten starting at right guard. Remember him?
Right. Oh, our old player. I
Yeah.
do remember him.
No.
I'm curious what their game plan will be because they didn't really use Jacobs week 1, but seeing what we did week 1 against Breece Hall, very curious if they decide to run the ball, more than they did week 1. Because really, right now, I'll be honest, man, that's our kryptonite. That's like our week. That is just our week. We cannot stop big runs. And I think the Raiders will test us out early, Mikey. I think they're going to test us out early, and see if this Bills defense is still just giving up big runs.
Evil Out must be a Raiders fan.
Oh, he's definitely, and that's cool. Hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You've been really cool so far in this chat. So, and I don't mind little talk like that. By the way, you've been keeping it cool. So,
no, I'm just like the Bills have a real unless they're gonna run and eat on the ground. In the air, I don't see them eating. Like we have a really good secondary.
Yeah, if you're gonna,
our
if you
defense
guys
is
are gonna
really good.
Exactly. That's what I was saying about the Jacobs thing. I think the Raiders are gonna test us out early with that. And really, I mean, at least how I see it, if you're gonna win and beat us, it's going to be on the ground. I just don't see it in the air. But hey, I could be wrong. You got a hell of a receiver in Adams. So.
Breece Hall only did 4 yards, one for the 83-yarder, but guess what? They had 83.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, too, I think we held them to 3.8 on carry, a 3.6. Like, our defense, but that, once again,
we always allow that one big one. We always allow that one big one.
Yeah, go back last year. It's the same shit. Like, you can go back last year when we I forget what team it was, hit a monster, like, 80-something yard touchdown, but we wind up finishing, 3.5 average for the game. Like, but that one huge run is a big deal. It's like, stop, man. Like, we need to play better, and we need to be in our right positions and make tackles. That's it. Stop being out of position.
That's not the rush. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be an interesting play. Like Josh Jacobs is a stud.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's really into Crosby.
Okay. Max Crosby normally eats every week. The dude's one of the best.
Yeah, that's not
football.
Yeah, that's not. You're definitely not saying anything like that is shocking.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's going to.
No hot take. It's trying to limit. You're not gonna. It's like T.J. Watt and
Bosa.
And, those guys. You're
Both
not gonna.
Bosas.
Yeah, you're not gonna stop him. You just hope to slow him down enough that he doesn't wreck the game.
Right. Exactly.
So all right, so let's jump into the keys of the game.
Yeah.
On offense, get a freaking run game going.
100%.
Josh Allen, better decisions, buddy.
Yeah.
Throw it to our guys, not their guys. That's the goal today.
Right.
Dorsey, bring back some motion and misdirections. Stop being so predictable.
Right. What do I think about Josh Jacobs? He's damn good. He's one of the best, if not the best running back in the NFL. I have him definitely up there and probably, I don't know. I mean, last year, yeah. I mean, last year, what he led the league, I think, and right, correct.
He's up there with Henry and Chubb.
He's definitely
Jacobs.
Yeah. So he's definitely in top
Taylor.
5. I might even have him cracking in the top 3. But he's a beast.
Henry, Chubb, and Jacobs. I can see that.
But I also could tell you, I don't know how he feels about your organization, and I don't know if you're going to wind up keeping him.
Yeah.
So enjoy him while he's there, But yeah, he's an absolute stud of a running back. Great draft pick by you guys.
Yeah. Josh Allen versus Jimmy G should be a good game. I've watched enough Jimmy G. I don't know what you're going to get from him. You could get superstar Jimmy G, or you can get dud Jimmy G. Like I live in Northern California. I watched a lot of Jimmy G with the 49ers. Like, you don't know what Jimmy G you're going to get. Although he always tends to play really well in the McDaniels offense.
Yeah, he's not a bad quarterback. Listen, Jimmy G is not a bad quarterback at all. But my thing with Jimmy G is he's a pocket passer. He is not. He's very limited in mobility, and the Bills' defense this year is not, like, as you already saw from week 1. We are putting a lot of pressure now, like, under McDermott's new defense, which is a pressure defense. So I'm very curious how they play it with Jimmy G, because Jimmy G is going to look to get the ball out early in this game, because I don't think he's going to have a lot of time. And I think really ultimately it's not going to boil down to Jimmy G. It's going to boil down to what your running backs do, Josh Jacobs in particular. That's how I think you guys, if you pull a win off, it'll be because you guys are controlling the clock and you're running well, and you're keeping our offense off the field. And you could definitely do that with your running back. So,
and you know what, that is a very good comment. I hope he doesn't get injured.
We don't have the same turf, by the way, as Jets.
But
so
Jimmy G is injury prone, and he's hurt all the time.
Very
brittle.
Prone. And we have certain guys that can crack ribs. Milano's one of them. So, we don't want that. Listen,
I don't want him to get hurt
on anyone. Yeah.
No, I hope he stays healthy. I hope you guys lose and we win, but I hope everyone leaves the game healthy.
100%. Yeah,
it's better for the NFL when the players are there.
100%, especially quarterbacks, man.
Yep.
It sucks when teams lose their quarterback.
Also, I don't hate Jimmy G. I like.
No, he's a good dude. I've never had a problem with him.
I'm not a 49ers fan either. So when they had a problem with him, like, all the dude does is win games. He's not flashy.
He has a good record. He's
record.
He's a great record as a starting quarterback.
Yeah,
he's a winning record. So
all
can't really knock him for that. Yeah.
No. So let's flip over to the defense side of the key of the game. Freaking tackle.
Yeah.
Stop this missed tackle crap.
Right.
Stop the run. Be lined up in the right gaps. Stop the run. And then for special teams, freaking cover a kick. God damn it.
I know. 100%.
We talked about it in the preseason. They look like crap in the preseason too. We're paying a lot of people money to be special teams aces, and you're giving up returns for touchdowns that end games.
Lazy job by the special team. They're totally lazy. Lazy. By the way, is Hamlin playing? He didn't play last week. I don't think he'll play this week. I got to be real, because Damar Hamlin. He's asking it's Damar Hamlin. I don't think so. But I don't know. Obviously, we don't know
I'll tell
yet.
You, I would like to see Damar Hamlin instead of Cam Lewis. Cam Lewis overran that return for a touchdown.
He did.
I would like.
Will they do it? I don't know.
I can see them giving him a game day jersey for the home opener.
It's at home. You're right. We'll see. That I don't know. It's 50-50. I got to be real with you. It's 50-50 on that one.
Yeah. This one's a good one. Paulie, Bills always destroy the Jets QB. Milano, Hyde, and now Floyd.
I know, man. Jeez. Feel bad for him, man.
Right? Here's Carl's key to the game. Play Josh Allen under center. Have lots of play action calls. Mix in more touches from Murray and Harris. You know 100%. What? I would like to see more play action. We didn't do enough of that.
Can't do it if you're not running the ball much.
Yeah, that goes back to us not doing misdirection and motion and getting their eyes going somewhere else.
One carry. I mean, for Harris, no one's going to think Harris is running the ball when he has one carry. Like, you got to get these guys more involved. Like, you go out and get Harris, right, in the offseason. Everyone's like, great pickup. Guy's a bruiser. Look what he's done against the Bills, and you give him one carry. It's like, come on, man. Is that how little respect you have in the guy you picked up as a free agent? You got to give him the ball more than that, bro. He's not a bad running back when healthy. And I said that millions of times. Matter of fact, he may be a better running back than James Cook if healthy. Like, I might trust him more than James Cook. But right now, like I said, it's the fact of staying healthy, but one carry won't do it. One carry will not do it. And same with Murray. I thought Murray got 2 carries, and I thought he looked okay. Yeah. I thought he deserved more, but
he also had a nice catch and run. He also had a nice catch and run.
Is that which he does very well, but they go away from the running backs, bro, all the time. And now you have decent guys that could fill those roles, and you don't use them. It drives me bonkers, bro.
Yeah. So those are my keys to the game. So Tommy, it's that time. It's score prediction time. What you got?
These are tough. Man, score prediction. Home against the Raiders. Okay. Godly. Let's hope for a bounce back win here. So I'm gonna go 35-13.
Ooh, you think we're stomping them?
That's at home, man. I think this is a game where we need to make a statement after a terrible performance Monday night. I'm hoping the Bills offense wakes the F up. They have no Jones. They have one really solid, obviously, Pro Bowler, All-Pro Crosby that if we could control, I think we can make plays on offense and score touchdowns here. Not like we did on Monday, but yeah. And I just think offensively, if we can stop the running attack, which is Jacobs, limit them and just have and put pressure on Garoppolo, that could force turnovers, could force 3 and outs quickly. Then yeah, I think the game will go just like that.
Okay, I have it 27-17.
Okay,
I think we're still going to be a work in progress. I don't think we're going to come out and super dominate. I think it's going to be close at halftime, and in the second half, we kind of pull away.
I could definitely see it like that too. Yep.
I don't think the Raiders are as bad as everyone thinks they are.
Mm-hmm.
No, and they could control the clock with Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. Because here's my biggest concern. This is the way for the Raiders to get the W. Jacobs is starting to eat.
Yep.
Play action over the top to Adams.
Correct.
That's a concern. Hunter Renfrow has kind of disappeared from their offense. I'll be interested to see if they bring him back. He's a shifty guy. He was really good until McDaniel showed up, and then he just kind of disappeared from their offense. So it'll be very interesting to see. One of the questions we got in here is, do you think Elam is active? I don't think he's going to be active. I also don't think they're going to be switching. I think it's Benford's job. He played 100% of the snaps.
Yeah, he did.
Jackson didn't even play, and I thought he played well.
Yep, me too. Yep. Aikman said the Bills were predictable. That's why I'm telling you. I think Dorsey needs to really. He needs to. I understand that he's trying to stick with the same playbook as Dable did in a way, but it's too predictable. Like you need to mix in some of your own and get creative and get some in-game adjustments and just try to get some creativity out there. Very plain Jane type of offense. I need to see more from him. 100%.
Good job.
24-21 close.
Yeah. We have 30-21. It'll be interesting to see how this plays. Evil says Josh those 2 picks.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with it.
It's how I see him.
You're laughing, but I can't really defend him right now and say you're wrong. I hope you're wrong, and I don't think so, but I can't really say he won't either.
Spin, you are dead on here, brother. He said, shouldn't be predictable, be one of the hardest offenses to learn in the league. Here's the problem. When you line up and run the same 4 freaking plays and they're crappy routes that have been run, like where's the motion? Where's the rest of the playbook that's so hard to learn?
I don't get it either. And Trent Sherfield, which is odd. Like I told you, remember I was like, Trent Sherfield in one of his conferences was like, man, this playbook, I love it. It's one of the best playbooks I've ever seen. It gets everybody involved. Week 1,
I didn't see that shit.
Trent, you definitely weren't involved. So you need to go.
Right?
You need to go knocking on Dorsey's door and be like, bro, what happened?
You have this amazing playbook, and we saw like one page of it.
Right, yo.
It was horrible.
Right.
So thanks for joining. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully everyone comes out healthy.
Yeah. Have a good night, man.
4110. We got one here from Zach. Says going with the shotgun with almost no play action and delayed handoffs. Is he gonna get defenses thinking pre-snap? Completely agree with you. Yeah, it's I seen Hardy and Diggs motioning. Yeah, early after halftime, you did not see the motion at all.
Nothing.
Like early in the game when we were up at halftime, they were motioning in the first half. Second half, they all stood there.
Yep, nothing. Hardy wasn't even involved in the second half.
Yeah.
So
spin 100-0.
Yeah, that'd be talk about coming back.
Well, it's Dayball's playbook. Dorsey just borrowed it.
Apparently, I mean, he's done nothing with it. It is though. It really. Come on. That's why I keep going back and say what it was. It seems like we're still doing the same. No, barely running it. Same kind of. Struggles, no in-game adjustments, the same. I don't know. Yeah, man.
You're on a Bills podcast, brother. Of course, Bills fans are thinking they're going to win.
right. Yeah, and we're not going to sit here and just bash our team, but you are. Hey, I hope you drink some for real on your own.
Yeah, And you know what? Jack, Tommy and I go live right after the games. If the Raiders come into Buffalo and beat us, come on back. Be respectful about it, but come on back. We'll be on there bashing the team. However, if the Bills smash them, come on back.
right.
We'll be respectful.
We're about as honest. Yeah, we're about as honest as a podcast you're going to get, man. Like, we're not here to make excuses. We'll tell you how the game went. We'll tell you that we got beat up. We'll
tell you Josh had a horrible game,
or we'll tell you, hey, Josh had a great game,
Yep.
And this is a great bounce back. But we are not the ones we're not trash talkers here, Bo. But you're more than welcome to come back anytime. I appreciate you watching the stream. But as long as you keep it cool with us, we'll keep it cool with you. That's our rule, man. That's the only rule.
Yep. Just keep it respectable.
That's it, man. Be cool with us. We'll be cool with you, man. That's it.
Yep. We're also football fans. We love our Bills, but we're football fans.
Exactly. Yep.
Spin, I'm with you, brother. I don't know if you can see the bags under my eyes, but I haven't slept much this week.
Yeah, man. Mikey's like, phew, geez.
It's been a
real quick, guys. So tomorrow, AFC Shakedown. I know y'all love that show. It's not going to be on Mafia Sports Report. It's going to be on Jedi Sports. And matter of fact, if you go into my homepage now, Mafia Sports Report, his channel link is there. So go ahead and subscribe to his channel, which is Sports Jedi Network. And it's tomorrow at 6. So it's not going to be here. So definitely want to go there, click the link, and subscribe, and then go tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So everybody can, because I'm going to, by the way, Mikey, I'm going to hear it tomorrow.
I know.
AFC East.
God, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And I am very prepared to hear all the criticism, and it's all good.
To take it. You're just gonna have to take it.
I'm gonna take it. It is what it is. And that's tomorrow. And then me and Mikey for post game will be here right after post game. Probably about, I would say, 4:15, 4:25, somewhere around there. So go ahead and hit the notification bell as well. It's already there, already up. Scheduled, so just hit that notification bell, and then that's it. Monday we'll be back normal time right after Monday Night Football, 11:30ish.
Don't forget, tomorrow is the first sit start for Fantasy Kingdom. Howie and I will be going live at 11.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you guys were going. Oh, look at that. See, I had no idea. Whoa, hey,
okay. Tomorrow, Howie and I will be going live at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, for our first Fantasy Kingdom sit start. So we'll do it on Wednesdays. So we'll be shooting the video. We'll drop the waiver wire on Wednesdays, lives on Saturdays.
By the way, Spin, yes, the absolute worst fan base I've ever dealt with. And this is not, listen, maybe they're great and maybe it's just the ones I dealt with, but I'm telling you straight up, guys, absolutely the worst people I've ever dealt with. And I've been doing this now since 2020, this channel. And I'm talking, bro, every team we've played so far since 2020, they have been the absolute rudest people to me. And I try, you guys know me, man. You're here. I try to keep it cool with everybody. I'll take the L, I'll whatever. But man, they were terrible people. So yeah, awful people. And they, by the way, they got what they deserved last year. And I told you guys they would. And look how their season ended. So they did not like they did anything special. They were sitting at home just like us. So that all that talk led to zero, zilch, nothing.
Actually, they went home before us. They were home.
Exactly. But either way, no Super Bowl, home. Yeah. So all that trash talk and all that time they took to come on my channel and all for ranting, how great they are, led to nothing. Yeah. And then this season they're 0-2. So it's like, once again, you got to be humble, guys. That's the one thing me and Mikey are. I know Mikey very well. Very humble person. I am very humble. I would never go and like when we win, I'm not going to be here and just like, oh, the Jets, they suck. I just not in our thing, man. Not in our DNA. We'll be happy. We're not going to sit there and tell you how bad you guys suck. Your quarterback blows. Like, it's just not in us, man. There is channels like that. I'm sure there is. There's trolls for every fan base, but you're not going to get it here. Just not going to get it here. Like, we'll have fun, but we will never be that rude, trash talking channel.
Even to the Patriots, who I absolutely hate with a burning passion. Jack, you asked who? Those were the Vikings fans that he was talking about last year.
Yeah, awful.
It was rough. It was rough.
Whole week, bro. I try to be humble with it, man. The absolute worst.
And you know what? That's great. I imagine a lot of the West were rooting for us against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are becoming the new Patriots. Everyone wants to watch them lose.
That's absolutely. It's funny because I'm here in Detroit and it's the same thing. But like, they're cool on my team now. Like, they're just like, they just hate the Chiefs. Like, everybody. Like, and they're an NFC team. It's just the way it is. Yeah, when you're the man, when you're winning championships, people want to see you get knocked off. You're at first the darling, right? They love you, but then eventually they hate you. It's just the way it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but
all right.
So tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Come join Howie and I for some.
2 p.m. Eastern time. So you said 11. So 2.
I said
2 p.m.
11 Pacific. 2
oh,
Eastern.
My bad. Okay. So guys, man, this chat was live tonight.
Yeah.
Well, look, there's Carl. You want to answer?
Who do you root for? Dolphins, Patriots. I want the Finns to lose, but I cannot bring myself to root for the Patriots. I hope they tie.
God, that's a tough one. You're right. Tie would be good, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Honestly, I want to see the Dolphins lose.
I'll go Patriots on this one because I don't hate the Patriots like I hate the Dolphins. See, my most hated team, even though I'll be honest with you, the Vikings really crept up the list because of the fans, but Dolphins are still, because I grew up in South Florida. I was a Bills fan. I couldn't stand the goddamn Dolphins. So yeah, Dolphins for me. And plus in the 90s, the Bills and Dolphins were rivals, man. That was heated. Kelly versus Marino. The Patriots were awful back in the day in the 90s. So that was the rival, and we always beat them. And they hated me. They hated the Bills. So you know what I mean? Like Marino never getting to Super Bowl because of the Bills.
Yeah, I'll root for the Patriots too, but mainly only because the Dolphins are 1-0 and the Patriots are 0-1.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see the East cannibalize each other.
It helps. It definitely helps. And
also bring the Dolphins fans back down to earth. Because they're already getting big for the britches again.
That is listen. And once again, though, I'll keep it real. They looked very good week one. Their defense did not, though. Their defense was sloppy as hell against the Chargers, but their offense looked good. But their concern is keeping Tua. It's a long season, keeping Tua healthy. So let's see how. Listen, it's a long season. It's a marathon, guys. So week 1 is what it is. It's in the books. So let's see if Tua can stay healthy, can stay upright, and we'll see how every team pans out. Oh, Turbo, this guy, this was the Jets fan, I think. Yeah.
And no problem. You can think he's overrated. That's fine.
Yeah, I know. Listen, and by the way, I never blocked you too, because I told you to come back. I thought you were pretty cool. Because I talked to this guy, by the way, Turbo, on I believe it was I don't know, Sunday or no, Monday. I did a pregame. He was on. He was a really cool guy. So I have no problem with you, Turbo.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So I think that's it, man.
Yeah.
This was a fun night, guys.
Hour 50 in.
This is a fun night, man. You guys, bro, by the way, the chat was lit.
Yeah.
As always, I appreciate you guys coming in, man. And after, I don't know what team you like. Team do you like? Before I get off, I'm curious because it says F the Jets. I have no idea. I don't know the facts. I don't know your team. Tell me your team before I get off, because this way I get my facts right. I will not end this stream until I find out the team you like. I want to know. Now I want to know.
Scott says, nah, you want the Patriots. Come on, Mikey. Division wins. Yeah, no, I do. I want the Patriots to beat the Dolphins, because then they both go to 1-1. Right, and then the next week, I want them both to lose.
Yep. Jack says he's the Raiders fan. Hey, there you go. So, Jack, you're more than welcome. Sunday, we will be doing the post game. Listen, win or lose, we're always here, man. So if you want to stop by, I don't know if you go to Raiders post game, but if there's none, and stop on in, man, we'll talk. So, by the way, I guess he didn't tell us what team, because I'm still waiting.
That's fine.
Hey, comment. By the way, okay, so if you're still listening, because we're about to get off, we've been on here 2 hours. Comment in my section. Just leave a comment, because I'm curious who your team is. I don't remember if you told me who your team was. So leave it in the comment section. All right.
Thanks, Amy.
All right, man. We're out of here, man. Oh, Amy. Hey, Amy, where you been?
She's listening.
Oh, he's a Raiders fan. There he goes. Right there. He told me. He's right there.
He's against Josh McDummy. That's funny. That's funny. And for his, he still loves his Derek Carr. He'll be rooting for Derek Carr. The best thing that could have happened to Derek Carr was to get away from Josh. I really believe so. He's gonna light it up in New Orleans. So it'll be
Spin,
fun.
I didn't leave. You told me. So we're out of here, man. I appreciate y'all once again. And we're out of here. Bills Mafia rule. We're out of here. Go Bills. Peace.